What's up, Aries? Aries Sun, Moon Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading / astrology talk here at the Intuitive Teacup. I'm mixing it up this week. I'm doing something a little bit different, so you might like it, you might hate it, hopefully somewhere in between. So yeah, come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to maybe learn something, better yourself, better your situation. Take away only what resonates for you and release the rest. Ultimately, you're accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. So, yeah, I'm going off book. We're gonna talk astrology for a little bit. I have some knowledge. I don't pretend to be an expert, so please don't live your life by what I'm saying here. If it helps, great. If not, simply release it. I'm kind of feeling the calling to introduce more of that into my channel. So we'll see how this round of readings goes. If everybody drops off, I'll take that as a sign. All right, so let's set the intention, though, to get my Aries gang, particularly Aries rising. I want to set that intention as well. Please do look up your rising sign, check out your moon sign, your sun sign. If you were an Aries, that means you are a sun sign Aries. That being said, your rising sign depends on the time and place you were born, so feel free to look that up. It's a quick Google search. Highly recommend for this week specifically, you check out your rising sign. But anybody who has placements in Aries that is showing up to my channel and to this video, let's try and get them some clear, helpful, and insightful messages. Let's do it. So the first card out the gate here is Venus in Virgo, the Nine of Pentacles. Which is about our money and knowing that money comes to us when we are in a place of self-worth and self-respect, implementing healthy boundaries in our relationships where other people's chaos don't disturb our peace or make us negotiate, compromise our self-worth and what we bring to the table. There's some sort of phrase that it's always on the tip of my tongue and it never comes out right, but it's something to the effect of when you know what you bring to the table, you're not super concerned with who's sitting there with you. And I feel like that's coming up through here, especially with your first two cards. You also have the wish fulfillment card, which is lovely. I absolutely love this combination. You have two nines. Nines are making their way towards completions and conclusions, but also having learned limitations that are necessary. But there's a very strong independent energy to nines. So this is financial independence, and this is also emotional independence in some capacity. And that's like a weird phrase, right? Emotional independence. What does that really mean? I mean, for me as a reader, the more I get the Nine of Cups, yes, it is about manifesting your dreams and seeing them come into fruition and the feelings associated with that elation, it's on your way to kind of the fairy tale ending of a chapter, right? You're going to have multiples of those throughout your lifetime. But a lot of times there, especially with these two, there's a recognition of like, I did this for me. And specifically regarding the emotions, it's like you're not depending on other people to make you happy. And you're also maybe not depending on other people to support you and survive in your livelihood. And it's not to say you can't be in collaboration and partnership when these cards come through, but there is a realization that like, you've made your dreams come true. And if you're struggling with that, if you're feeling stuck, there might be a greater push for you to sort of strike out and do something a little bit more independent or rogue, which, in theory, I'm not saying this is true, but in theory, that's something very familiar to the Aries storyline. It's a sign ruled by Mars, and Mars is the planet of war and separation and sharp edges, but also gusto and vitality and independence and confidence and bravery and courage, right? So with that, yeah, it's like making your own wishes come true and not necessarily relying on other people to do all the heavy lifting for you. Again, I'm not saying this is void of partnership or collaboration, but it's like, I can do good all on my own. It has that vibe and that energy. There might be more of a focus on your money. On April 19th, the sun moves into Taurus, right? So it's going to be Taurus season. Anytime the sun moves, that illuminates or highlights an area in our birth chart where there could be potential for a lot of growth and focus, undeniable focus being put on issues for you. Second house matters regarding your resources, your finances, your material goods, your values and assets, and in a more general sense, who and what you value. It could even be, qualities you value. It might, it's a Venus ruled house, so it could be art that inspires you, things you like. It could have to do with romance, right? So as the sun moves into Taurus, again around April 19th, more focus on money, and that could be why your Nine of Pentacles is showing up here. But also there could be a question of loyalty. Whenever I see this card, there's something about an established trust, an established loyalty with this falcon or this bird. It's like there's this kind of, I'm hearing the word symbiotic. I don't know if that works for you guys, but this relationship where I'm going to allow this thing, this person, this energy to come and go because there's already an established trust. I don't have to chase it. I don't have to manipulate it to stay or coerce it. It's like if this person loves and respects me and vice versa, if I share those feelings or that energy equally, we can both go our own ways and come back together and be a very strong couple, collaborator, whatever. But there isn't a need to sort of pull on the puppet strings behind the curtain and kind of mastermind something or manipulate it or them to get them to stay. And that message may go in reverse too. If you're feeling manipulated or coerced into a situation, there might be a striking out of independence, in which case you actually feel very satisfied that was the right move. You're not necessarily questioning it. Now, the sun moving into Taurus, it is going to square, make an agitation or an opportunity, is like the high vibration of that, to Pluto in Aquarius. So your long-term goals regarding your money might be shifting or switching or changing up or reinventing, reinvigorating. Pluto can be the planet of crisis. It doesn't have to be, but it is ultimately the planet of reinvention and a total haul, a rehaul, a total makeover. And it is showing up in your 11th house for a while. So again, your long-term goals and visions and your future plans might change. This may have to do with how you show up in the world and how you operate in larger communities and team dynamics. It may also have to do with friendships. There could be a challenge, and this might be a short-term challenge, but there could be a challenge regarding working or collaboration with friendships and where maybe things are falling away and allowing them to do that organically, or where there might be a power struggle in relationships and how that has an impact on your money. Now, it could also be because Jupiter and Uranus are in Taurus, right? Those planets are transiting that area of your chart. Jupiter, in theory, brings an opportunity for money and blessings, especially with the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, which is happening, let's see, I think Saturday, April 20th, again, give or take. You're going to feel that, for a longer period of time, but I think that it reaches its exactitude that day. That could bring some beautiful energy. That could bring some beautiful opportunities for, again, money, resources, goods, creative genius, if you will, with that going on. And that's not necessarily squaring Pluto. Those are kind of happening in different areas, but that Pluto is affecting sort of the sun in Taurus, which again is I'm almost wanting to say, like, especially with this, like your connection and your identity to money. And I know that's a weird way of phrasing it, but how that's changing. And for some of you, it could be your long-term future is changing because maybe with Jupiter, it's like, hey, we want to have kids. And that means we have to, reassess Mercury retrograde, which is also happening, reassess where we're putting our money. Are we saving for this kid's college? Are we saving for our own college, financial stuff? It's like, where is money going in terms of the future, and where is that presenting you with a challenge? Let's take another card here. What does Aries need to hear from this? The Four of Swords. Yeah, it feels like there is a financial opportunity that comes about, which again has the underlying energy of independence here. And something about it brings you a lot of peace of mind. And maybe it hasn't fully materialized or manifest here. I think sometimes with squares, there's challenges that put a lot of pressure on us, but it's sort of that expression. It's like, what is it? Pressure makes diamonds or breeds diamonds, or, putting pressure on something, it forces you to show up for yourself in a new way. Yeah, this feels like a reinvention. Some advice I would give you, Death, Scorpio energy, again, Pluto energy, your money is going through a transformation, undeniably. And we can fear that. We can be like, oh my God, this is a terrible time, and what am I going to do? Or we can be like, maybe this isn't happening to me. Maybe it's happening for me, and I just don't understand the full vision yet. What's kind of cool though is showing up in your tarot. It's like you do seem to have a vision, especially regarding how it would feel to be financially independent, or how it would feel to be an entrepreneur, or how it would feel to not put your personal power in the hands of someone else saying, please give me X amount of money, please cover my benefits, please cover my insurance. There's not a begging quality to the Nine of Pentacles lady, because it's like, it has nothing to do with ego. It has to do with understanding like mutual respect. And like, it takes two to tango. So like, yes, maybe you are an employee at a company, and some of you aren't. This is an example, right? This is a metaphor. But I think there's a need to bust out of sort of like the limited ways of thinking of like, you know, I'm hearing the word like just pushing the pencil. Is that a term? I don't know why I'm hearing that. But anyway, it's like I show up and do the thing, and they pay me money, right? And that money allows me to survive. It's like the zoom out is like, but think of all that you contribute and like how you've helped to make and structure who this company is becoming. It's almost like realizing you're actually way more important than you realize, and you haven't been giving yourself enough credit. And I think for some of you, this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is like the awakening, the epiphany, the genius of sort of personal growth in your finances. But I also think it has to do with this sort of huge wake-up call of like, where have I been self-sabotaging, or where have I not been giving myself the due credit or the ability to accept praise and applause or reap the reward of my effort without the assumption of, oh, well, that's expected of me. That's owed of me. Like I have to exhaust my energy and my resources to meet the need of this person in control, when really it's like, oh, that control always belonged to me. Like I was participating in that. Now, I'm not here to like reprimand you and make you feel shame or guilt or remorse. It's not about that. It's stepping into this energy of like, I'm so much better than this. Like, I'm so much better than this. And something about that, it's starting to help you see a greater picture, and it's allowing you to like sleep better at night. It's allowing you to sleep better at night. There might be some sort of ending or falling out here. But the thing is, for most of you, you're not viewing it from a place of fear. You're starting to recognize, oh, I see why the universe is wanting me to pull away from this, because they're not doing me any favors. Like, I'm doing all the favors. I'm doing all the heavy lifting. And this is very much like, no more. For some of you, I'm kind of getting this message of when you pull back your energy, and I'm not saying up and quit your job, right? You know, use common sense, make practical decisions based on your life and your scenario. But when you do start to retract or pull back your energy or pull away, it's almost like that's when the other energy starts to be like, well, wait a minute, what's going on? And whether this is romantic or business related, you know, or anything in your life, friendship dynamics, that person starts to panic a little bit. They start to have that Pluto crisis mode of like, well, wait a minute, like you've always been there for me. What do you mean you're leaving? What do you like? And I almost think for you, it's too little too late. The fact that you are having to explain your self-worth and how this person didn't show up or is not showing up for you, Aries, like, you know everything you need to know. You know, by all means, have the negotiation, see if you can find a middle ground, but I have to be real with you. Pluto doesn't really find the middle ground. You know, Pluto works in very extreme ways, and it's too little too late. For a lot of you, it's like you wanted a stronger commitment, you wanted a renegotiation of contracts, and maybe someone kept you warm, they kept you on the back burner, and you're just like, no, like, oh, like I don't want this. And it's so clear to me now. I can't believe I didn't see it before. This might involve a Scorpio, a Pisces, you know, a Virgo. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. What else? What else do we need to tell it's funny, I almost called you Taurus. I do feel like Taurus energy is coming through strong, but I you know, I think it's because Taurus season is upon us. What can my Aries gang, specifically Aries rising, maybe look forward to with this conjunction energy? Massive expansion, massive growth. Again, in terms of second house themes or patterns, house money. It's funny, I said house. That's actually not what I meant to say, but it came through. So for some of you, it does have to do with your house and your living situation. Sometimes that's just channeled messages, but You don't see it coming, though. So I'm asking specifically, what are some good things you have to look forward to, in the coming weeks, in the coming months? This, to me, speaks about your blind spot. I think you owe it to yourself to remain balanced and find peace in situations that are inciting chaos and possible crisis around you. You always have the power, you have the choice to respond in a different way. And that's hard. It's like flexing a muscle. It's like rewiring your brain, your response and your reaction. Your moon doesn't go off of logic. Your moon rules your emotions. And sometimes it's that like crisis mode. But when you become self-aware, you start to see that like you don't have to do that thing. You can change the habits and patterns over time. And I'm just hearing you owe it to yourself to remain even keeled, if that's the right term. It's a Libra card. And to be honest, because it is Libra and Libra rules, seventh house of partnerships, there could possibly be the reinvigoration of some sort of collaboration or partnership where maybe you feel better stepping away from another because it's like organically one sort of replaces the other. And I'm not saying it's an exact match and it's the exact time you leave one thing, the other comes in. I'm not saying that. I think that's unrealistic, but I am sort of getting an energy of it's okay to withdraw or pull back from something that you don't feel respected in, because it's going to bring you more peace. And when you're in that place of like peace and balance and self-respect. Yeah, my phone is confirming that for me. Like every time I get the ding or the buzz, it's like, yeah, tell them more. Sorry. When you're in that place of valuing yourself and self-respect, the universe brings you something that matches that vibration. So if you are, again, I'm hearing pushing the pencil, correct me in the comments. I don't know what that phrase is, but I sort of get it. It's like, you're grinding, you're in grind mode. Like, I gotta do this and eventually my dreams will come true and someday I'll be there. It's almost like the energy you're manifesting from that is like, someday I'll be there, but you're never there. Sometimes, like, I think you've already arrived to some conclusion. It's just making sort of that final decision to pull back and rest. Some of you literally just need to rest. And I think there's that fear of, well, if I stop, what happens? The fear of if I'm not going, and that can be like an Aries thing, right? But it's not serving you. It's depleting your energy in a way where it's like you're abandoning yourself in the process of something. I think this talks about pulling back your energy and having faith and trust in the unknown. We are having the we already did. We had a conjunction of the planet Mars, which is your ruling planet, in Pisces with Saturn. So there is some sort of pause or delay or need to rest. And something to do with limits and restrictions and time, especially on your energy and your gusto and your action plan, your game plan, your ability to move forward, rather than fight against it. Again, Pisces, I love to give that metaphor. It's like we can fight the ocean or we can just surrender to it. And odds are, with a little faith, that's a good Pisces word, we're probably going to end up where we need to be. And this is a Pisces card. That's why I'm saying it. There's just kind of a need to go with the flow, and really lean into your intuition as well, and not fear the unknown. It feels like the universe it's like that idea of like if God or whoever closes a door, they open a window. The window is wide open, and I think it has been for a while. I think you've had both opportunities, and it's just a decision of, again, Pluto says go the extreme, one or the other, but maybe you're not ready to do that, and maybe that's not your path. Maybe it's pulling back a little here and investing more here in order to better respect your body, your health, your financial restraints. It's doing something good for you and not giving it all away. And maybe at some point in time, because you're not totally seeing the full picture here, you will be ready to reinvigorate that energy into the window versus the door. Do you understand what I mean? Like the closing of a door, the opening of a window. Both are cracked right now. Although, to be honest, I think the window is open. I think the universe is trying to get you to see the window. I hope you're with me on this metaphor here. But there's something about, well, I don't get it though. Like, it's not clear to me. It's not known. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with you not knowing right now, but it is about having faith that there is something brewing and simmering here and bubbling under the surface. So if you don't feel ready to move, don't. You have cards saying pull back your energy, but rest. You don't need to be like go mode yet. Let's get one more card on this for Aries. The Tower. Yeah. So get ready for shocking and unexpected twists and turns in the narrative. The thing is, for a lot of you, I think you're bringing the tower down on someone else. Now with that, like I'm not here to sugarcoat it, right? Like the tower is major shifts and major changes, but we can already anticipate those a little bit looking at the astrology. So I'm not sure how totally unexpected it is to you, Aries. Again, it's like there's like a teaser. You have this, like, psychically, intuitively, you're like, I feel like the universe is like showing me this, but I don't get it. Cool. Just like you're already receiving the signs and messages. So sit with those. You don't need to take immediate action. When you do, you're going to feel more confident because you've had the chance to get comfortable with the emotions and the potential results or outcome. I think you're bringing the tower down on some sort of relationship in your life where it was impeding your growth or wasn't valuing you. And this feels very like Jupiter, Uranus. It's like, I gotta grow. Like if you can't meet me halfway, it's been nice knowing you, but like, peace, I'm out. Like it feels very, I think you're bringing the tower down on someone else. And again, because it's showing up next to the, satisfied, wish fulfillment, honoring and respecting yourself, sleeping well at night, sleeping peacefully at night, knowing you made the right decisions. This tower doesn't seem to impact you in a way where you're in crisis, but it is bringing major shifts and changes in your life. I think someone else is going to be shocked at you retracting your energy and wandering down a path where maybe there isn't certainty or guaranteed outcomes. And I'm wanting to say silence the naysayers or the people who aren't cheering you on and championing you. Just be like, shh, let me stop you there. Like if you're not going to support me in this is where we part ways. Like, because there is more certainty. Certainty grows here. That's what I'm wanting to say to you, Aries. All right, guys, that's what I got for you this week. Thanks for joining me today. Let me know in the comments below what you think of mixing the astrology with tarot. I welcome constructive criticism. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Like, share, subscribe. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that and hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted in the future when I post my videos. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.